Coach Patton, what did you think about Johnny Manziel's first career start?
Johnny got his start against Cincy. Took a few snaps, ended up on his back. It's tough. He really stunk. Bengals brought the pressure all day. Cut the O-line like a knife. He ran for his life. Oh boy, the fans miss Hoyer. He'll be outlined. Tebow on his ass. It doesn't make a difference if it's tough or if it's grass. He's a tiny little rat, and you can't see past his lineman's ass. He needs to stack. Oh, he's halfway tall. Whoa, get back and choo-choo at the mall. He has big hands, and he waves them in the air. He'll throw the smoking gun, hoping he will catch your prayers. Choking out your prayers. The ball starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard College for box score.
I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Yesterday, a lot of talk about music. Today, you guys were all over Hell's Half Acre. Paulie, at what point do you just take your hands off the wheel and just let the show go wherever it needs to?
You do so when there's not great topics to talk about. I mean, forcing sports topics to me seems worse than ignoring some sports topics. We were on a good time today, and the people who watch or listen to our show want to have a good time with us. That being said, if you do 4 hours, 3 hours with no sports, you're making a mistake. But again, back and forth, back and forth. We kind of know when something's played out. We kind of like, all right, you'll feel the go, all right, let's get back to DeMarco Murray. Should he play with a broken hand? It feels very natural and unplanned.
You see, Paulie, the way you say that, though, I feel like you're denigrating how awesome the shirt topic was. Because I don't care if it was the day after the Super Bowl. We could have done an hour and a half one. That shirt was an overwhelming topic.
Right, that's a good point, though, because like the Warriors lost to the Grizzlies last night. Okay, what's next? What's next on that thing? How entertainment is us telling about the score of that game or the fact that, you know, Blake Thompson had whatever?
Well, yeah, and I kind of came in today, I was just like, all right, well, we're going to talk about the Redskins again. Okay, it's interesting, you know, and it's a fun little soap opera to watch, but it didn't exactly have me like, oh, man, I can't wait to get on the air with this today. It's like,
Yeah, I listened to the Howard Stern show the other day, and they did like, I had a long drive the other day, and they did like 3 hours. It was an old episode of Ronnie the limo driver and him trying to get air conditioning in Howard's car. They did like 3 days on this. I don't know what else was going on in the world. I mean, Bin Laden could have got shot the night before. But they did 3.5 hours on Ronnie the limo driver and the thing called a ball cock and how it has to move to get the air conditioning go from heat. I was enthralled by it, and I enjoyed every minute. And I don't know what the headlines were that day, but it wasn't as entertaining as Ronnie the limo driver and the air conditioning.
McLovin, of the many topics raging through the man cave today, which one did you find most baffling?
Most baffling. Actually, nothing really baffled me. I kind of, the ripping Dan's shirt, that's something that we've become experts in over the years. So we were poised and trained and prepared for that.
I'm starting to feel bad.
Yeah.
I'm starting to feel bad though about the Dan shirt thing because if you saw after the show or late in the show, he gave me that shirt, which I don't really want someone else's shirt unless it's bought at a thrift store and it's from 1970. But like.
Well, if it's switching soccer jerseys, like you'd be into that.
Right, yes. But the first month I met Dan, maybe first 6 months, he came in with a striped white and blue shirt, and one of us, I don't know if it was me or not, said, "Hey, sailor," and he literally took the shirt off and threw it in the garbage can. I assume somebody paid for that shirt at some juncture, and like Dan threw away that, what was that shirt called?
Quilty as charged.
Quilty as charged, brown Orbis shirt, which is probably expensive.
Yeah,
this shirt is
like a
perfectly nice shirt. Fritzy, the I-team has learned, Fritzy for years has said that he can't not find the chunky, too tight oatmeal sweater.
He doesn't believe it. Honestly, I've been looking for that sweater, and I'm quite sure it's dumped, but I'm going to look yet again and go down to the basement.
I'm going to give you the day off because we contacted Fritzy's wife. I literally had my wife contact Fritzy's wife, and she says the sweater was thrown away because of the constant torture.
Yeah, but I didn't personally throw it out. I think she took it.
But she didn't want you being embarrassed anymore on a national and local level.
Yeah, I'm going to still look just in case for some reason she thought
even though she said she threw it away.
I'm going to make sure she absolutely, because I owe it to you guys to wear it Saturday. If for some reason, she threw something else out and it wasn't that
Any
one.
chance she's lying to me to protect you?
I don't think she's lying, but just out of the slight chance that she threw out, because she's wanted to throw out a lot of my clothes, shockingly, and that somehow
You've obviously never ever let her.
No, somehow if it's resurfaced or she she thought it was something else that she threw out. If I find it, it will be worn Saturday.
Fantastic.
I promise that.
All right, we'll circle back to the fashion
ask me a
debate.
question.
The music debate got a little heated today when Dan said that he liked Simon and Garfunkel, and Fritzy voiced his massive displeasure.
You like that? You can call me Betty. I can call you Al. Is that one of the ones you like?
I didn't say that, did I?
No, but you said you like Simon and Garfunkel.
I said I like their greatest hits.
that one was brutal.
Okay.
That's not a Simon and Garfunkel song.
Do you think that Simon and Garfunkel had some good music?
They did have some decent songs.
Oh my!
And they're no Hall & Oates, but they did all right for themselves.
Give me 3 Simon and Garfunkels.
I couldn't even name you 3
Are
Simon and Garfunkel.
you? I should make. You,
I know when I hear
should
it,
make
I
you
know
run
it's
a
the-
lap.
I know it's them when I hear it. But
Give me
I can't rattle
one.
off
Give me
Simon.
one Simon and Garfunkel song.
I can't think
Okay,
of it right
that's
now.
it. Turn off this mic.
That was a tough one for Fritzy because Fritzy is locked in on early 80s falsetto singers. And he really doesn't open his mind up. A little rap here and there, maybe a little bit of country.
But 80s rap.
80s rap or 80s country, stuff they wore when he went to the boot barn and spent $838. San Bernardino. And but Fritzy sticks to his guns musically. He literally doesn't acknowledge almost anything.
No, he put me on the spot, Dan, and I couldn't think of any Simon and Garfunkel song. Even though once I Googled it, I was familiar with several.
Can you
of them.
sing Mrs. Robinson? Do you know the words?
So here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.
No, you can't.
Jolton Joe is left and gone away. Isn't that?
Yeah. So you know the lyrics. You just don't know.
But there's
who wrote
also,
it.
are you going to Scarborough Fair? There's a few decent
So
ones.
you could do a montage.
Yeah, but once I saw the titles, I knew.
I Am
some
a
of them.
Rock,
But when
I'm
he
an
asked
Island?
me to name them, I just couldn't.
Like a bridge.
It was Troubled Waters, yeah. But when he asked me, for some reason, I totally blanked. And then I put up a song that was just Simon. It wasn't even a Simon and Garfunkel song. That weird.
What
You
if
can
you
call me
picked
Betty Al
just a
song.
Garfunkel song?
Sounds like a #1 single, by the way. You Could Call Me Al. Chevy Chase is on the
I
video.
just thought that was awful.
Man,
Do you guys hate that
I thought
song?
the video was awful.
I think the
was
song is
awful.
hokey.
I don't get it.
Paul Simon does have a couple of those songs that are kind of like hokey like that.
Yeah.
I felt like it was one of those. We need one more to fill the album. We got another 4 minutes and 38 seconds left.
So that's the one we'll make the single.
So let's do the Betty Al thing. We'll throw that in there.
Seton, you shook up things a bit today when you said that Aretha Franklin was the greatest vocalist ever. How about the rest of you guys? Who's the best vocalist? Fritzy, would it be Hall? Would it be Oates? Would it be neither?
Yeah, for me, Hall & Oates and Billy Joel, if I had a pick of all the music I listen to and who I like the best, I put Garth Brooks up there, but Hall & Oates and Billy Joel are by far my favorites as far as going to concerts and things like that.
Vocalists. I think it's more about the voice. And someone who's known
I
for-
guess I go Daryl Hall. I don't know how much he's considered a vocalist. I know it's a duo, but since he did the majority of the singing while Oates was playing the guitar, even though they wrote songs together. Yeah, Daryl Hall for me.
Hey, dude's got a great voice.
He's got a
There's
good
no
voice.
arguing that.
I'll tend to agree with Seton. You're not going to beat Aretha Franklin, especially since I think she's 72 and still killing it without any help. I always liked Frank Sinatra in his first 55, 60 years. I love the way he soft take on a song. It was really cool.
I lived right near Patti LaBelle, and we would often see her in the neighborhood. I remember she had
Lady
pipes.
Marmalade.
Yeah, but as far as great, Aretha, those all seem too obvious to me. Does anyone want to talk opera here? Can we talk about Placido, perhaps Pavarotti,
Bocelli.
Bocelli?
Yeah, you're a big fan.
Yeah, hello. Actually, I tried to think of somebody. The 3 tenors are the only opera guys I know. And then there's the maestro from Seinfeld, but that's about it.
Oh, maybe we forgot James Ingram and Michael McDonald. I don't know if they're in the Hall of Fame, but this year, 2015, they inducted Green Day, and you guys had the CEO, Greg Harris, on, and he made his case for why they're going to be in the Hall.
Yes, they got the votes. They were deemed to have the impact and influence on taking, the great sounds of the Clash, the Ramones, the Pistols, and sort of taking it and rejuvenating it and bringing it out to a large audience and impacting a lot of others that went into music and performed and did things. So, they got the nod. They'll be honored here in Cleveland, Ohio on April 18th at our induction ceremony, and they're in.
Yeah, I like Green Day. I don't necessarily agree with that. I kind of feel like all the points that you made for other people getting in, you could use against Green Day, and sort of vice versa. So I don't really see them as like this big sort of revolutionary pushing things into new, genres, or pushing the genre forward into a new direction.
When I
just don't really see
when
it.
I think of Green Day getting inducted, I give myself the creeps.
Solid.
Solid.
Greg Harris.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
I like Greg Harris. He's a nice guy and everything, but I was like, see, and I were talking about, he's a little quiet, a little corporate for me. What if you had...
It felt like we were talking to somebody from the NCAA.
Right. Why don't you have like Keith Richards as the president of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? And like he runs the parties. He runs like the gift bag, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You get like a classic rocker to run the Hall of Fame. Sorry, Greg.
All right, stick around. McLovin has a jaw-dropping story for us. A jaw-dropper.
I don't know if I should tell the story, but I was in Barbara Streisand's apartment.
What?
And it got weird.
Okay.
we don't have any time
Then
here,
we
too.
got to wait till the top of the hour. Because she does like younger guys.
She wasn't there, but it still got weird.
No! Don't you know how to tease a story?
We are back here on the box score. McLovin could use some help on the art of the tease, but thankfully for us, his story became an instant classic.
Right after college, a friend of mine was working as an assistant for Barbara Streisand. And she was out of town, and he or she was watching the apartment. I'm trying to protect the innocent here.
Okay.
I said, you want to come over and see Barbara Streisand's apartment? I'm like, yeah. So I got a full tour of the apartment. And he's like, do you want to start opening some drawers? I'm like, yeah. Then...
You just said he.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And then he got to the bra drawer, and he's like, do you want to reenact Weird Science with Barbara Streisand's bras? I'm like, go Gary and Wyatt on this? I'm like, yeah. And then, that's the end of the story.
Oh, no, it's not. So you dressed up in women's clothes, Barbara Streisand's clothes.
No. In Weird Science, they put the bras, they wrap them around their head when they're creating the perfect woman, Kelly LeBrock.
Did you put Barbara Streisand's bra on your head?
I will not admit to that. I'm taking the fifth.
That's a yes.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know if there's really anything to say. I don't know. I think the question is why would I let that out there?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, or why would you have saved that for 5 years?
That's a long time.
I think this is really good for McLovin's brand, is that we may know that there's other stories that we can get to keep him around for, because that's a home run. And the thing is, it could have gone bad. He blew the tease. But rarely does this story outweigh a tease, like where you're like, wow, that's better than what I expected. Also a fantastic Weird Science reference.
Well, it's very out of character for you, or at least who you've become.
To break into someone's lingerie shop.
Yeah.
Today was a good day to do
was-
that. Today was
Like, this seems like a Fritzy story, right?
such a good story.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous that I was not along for that ride.
Yeah, I was honestly, I was actually going to come up to you and like, how do I get out of this? And there's no way. Which, by the way, now it's like Paulie's the wrong person.
Get you out of this. He's gonna
You're
throw
talking
more
the right,
logs on the
how do I
fire.
get you back into this is all I was thinking.
Yeah.
Now, Brock, that bra's from your personal collection, correct?
Absolutely.
It's a bra.
This is my wild weekends, right after a couple
Nice.
shots of Fireball.
Oh!
Right over the Abbey. McLovin, do you remember Miss Streisand's cup size?
No, actually, at that point in my life, I wasn't really familiar with cup sizes. Didn't necessarily know my way
Why is
around the
there a
bra.
letter in it?
Yeah.
By the way, I got a question, Brock, before we
There's a letter?
wrap this segment. Now, in the prop budget, do you guys already have bras bought for this segment? Because this story broke today. So did you already have a bra in the prop department, or do you have to go desk to desk and improperly ask employees?
Well, no, this
very good
one,
question.
I was asked if there was a bra in the back, and I said, yes, there is a bra in the back, and I went and grabbed this one. We had a
Love
couple colors
to
to
know
choose
how
from.
that ended up in our budget.
This is
spare.
this is
Yeah,
a
it's a
Hold
leftover.
on, I've got another bra.
A lot of items
Yeah,
are
it looks
brought
like
from
you've
home.
worn one of those on your head before.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Is this a typical teenage Brock outfit right there? Did you ever go Weird Science?
Well, no. One time I did grab my mother's granny panties, and we put them up in front of a fan back in some of her larger days, and it was something like the HMS Pinafore. But they were brand new, and they hadn't
That
shrunk
was like
down.
2 years ago.
Oh, sure. Okay. Paulie, is there some celebrity that maybe you'd want to go in and poke around their house, actor or actress?
Oh wow. I would be pretty fascinated whenever you see those like things like Cribs or what's that woman does the interviews? 10 most fascinating people.
Barbara Walters.
Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
Everything is so staged and proper. There's always
Yes.
a roaring fire. I would love to see like the messiest celebrity home.
I can answer this one for Paulie. It's Jason Statham.
Yeah,
that's whose underwear drawer he wants to go
Oh,
through.
God,
That's
yeah.
really obvious.
Who wouldn't?
Oh, this has been a delightful segment, and you can really hear the IFB in the cup here. Okay, stick around. There's more role playing, but it's between the boss and Fritzy.
Is this Fritzy?
It is.
Yeah, you're that punk who makes fun of me all the time,
No,
crying, and
punk's
I'm
a
just
little
passion is what I am. You cry all the time too. I hear you cry all the time too.
You know what? I'm a big Bronco fan, and you happen to be the quarterback of an opposing team.
If
and-
you had a good arm, you'd be me. You know that?
Well, at any rate, we appreciate you taking the time. We're coming back from break.
What have
here.
you won?
I won a bowling trophy in camp once.
Yeah.
Got a 126.
When's the last time you cried on the show?
I cry often.
We are back here on the box score. That was Boss giving Fritzy a rash of it as the role of Philip Rivers. Fritzy, if you ever got the Chargers quarterback on, do you think you would be able to handle a frontal assault like that?
Probably not. I would like to think that it would be professional on both sides. I have been efforting Philip Rivers throughout the entire season, and we'll keep pushing to do that. You know, I know the guys tease me and they think I'm just going to concentrate on Broncos and I'm going to stay away from. We've had Carr on with the Raiders. We've tried for a number of Chiefs throughout the season. They haven't.
Fritzy,
been
you
very
are aware
helpful.
that the Broncos know what you say on the show about Philip Rivers. You're aware of that? That they're aware?
I would think that somehow, at some point, that would have gotten.
Because
out there.
they brought it up to me in a joking manner.
The Broncos did?
Yeah.
The Chargers.
The Chargers.
Chargers brought it up, saying it's really funny that we'll try and get Phil, but it's really funny with Fritzy trying to book him. They're not mad, and they're not holding back the booking in any way. Chargers are trying to get him, but he's a busy guy.
Yeah, in my communication with them, and I'm assuming they've listened to the show, or certainly enough. On any given day, I could be ripping Philip Rivers.
Let's say the Chargers beat the Broncos Monday Night Football, and your typical email is, great win last night. Congratulations. We'd love to have Philip Rivers on to talk about his great win taking down the Broncos.
Yes, I would write something very similar to that. It would be very hard to write.
But you would not change the tone.
I don't know if I would say great win. I'd say congratulations on the victory.
Technically, you beat the Broncos last night.
I'll say I understand you scored more points than Denver did, so that would.
You've got to be really excited beating a team like the Broncos.
Factually, you beat the Broncos last night as much as we know.
Forgetting the fact that that must be a big deal for you guys because the last 4 AFC West titles were won by the Broncos.
Little wordy.
But it's nice to get that win, and it'll be a good opportunity to revisit.
If Philip was watching right now, would you tell him you're going to be nice to him when he comes out?
I would be professional. I would definitely be nice to him. That's just when it's game day, it's all about the Broncos, and I don't like the Raiders, Chiefs, or Chargers, especially San Diego and Philip Rivers. But as far as when it comes to the show, we got to keep it professional, and we do very much want to have Philip Rivers on, and I will continue
Todd,
to try
why
to
don't
get
you
him
promise to have? We'll have him on when they win the Super Bowl, which has been how many have they won in the past?
The Broncos or the Chargers?
The Chargers.
The Chargers have won 0 Super Bowls.
There you go.
Well, from the box score, apologies to the Spanos family
a while back.
and all the faithful in the powder blue. Fritzy, I think you could pull it off. I think your confidence is up. I mean, heck, you took a shot at the boss's shirt today.
Paulie liked it, which made me nervous. McLovin liked it, which made me even more nervous. And Seaton said, "Are you going to wear that?"
Are you going to make us some toys during the commercial break?
Wow.
That'd be nice.
Oh, look at you, bottom feeder
No,
there.
I just saw some wood in the corner and like a little some paint. That was very good. Nobody wants a Charlie in the box for Christmas. You're a train with square wheels. So you want to be a dentist?
Yeah, we had some fun, and yes, I did jump in on. We already a lot of logs were already thrown on the fire against Dan's shirt, and then I had to get in a couple little elf. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer references in there because the more I looked at the shirt, the more I could see him in the corner of a room, painting like a wagon or something like that, or hammering a piece of wood, putting some type of vehicle together. So we had some fun. I didn't want to be left out. I enjoyed what was going on, and I'm like, I've taken enough grief from Dan over the years. If I have an opportunity to jump in and throw a few extra logs on the old fire,
Welcome to the bottom of the barrel, pal. There's a lot of room here.
Thank you, bud.
We're glad to have you.
We're a couple of misfits. It wasn't just Fritzy taking shots at Dan's shirt. The entirety of Dan Nation weighed in on the glory that was his shirt, and it went up on the website for a Create the Caption contest. but we're going to give you guys a crack at it. How about this? How about you guys give us your best caption for Dan's shirt? Seton, start us off.
My favorite one was I'm horribly dressed, Rob Lowe, and I have cable. That's pretty great.
Paulie, you got one?
This was from a listener who said they were 9 years old on the Twitter. Obviously, that Dan just doesn't give a shirt anymore. He said he was 9.
Fritzy, you got one?
Yeah, I had jotted down shirt stain and ho ho no was my other one.
McLovin, you wanna get in on this?
Yeah. Someone please, someone please light that shirt in fuego.
All right. Well, you guys
That's
mentioned
mean.
earlier about Paulie receiving Dan's shirt in the third hour. He literally gave you the shirt off his back for the holidays. Now, Paulie, are you going to take that and frame it, or does that get in immediate rotation? How's this all unfold?
You know, I haven't thought it out yet, but the first thing it's going to do is be laundered. And then after that, I'm thinking about wearing it tomorrow. And just to juxtapose, you know, how if the shirt just didn't work on Dan or didn't work. Because I think it's a fine shirt. It's not that kind of old school, kind of like rugby style almost, but he took a beating. So I figure why not try to wear it? It could continue the joke or see where it goes.
Well, that's the weird thing about clothes. Like, it might look really terrible on Dan, which clearly did. It might look great on Paul, though. So you really can't judge shirt to shirt. Like, you know, you could wear that one, Paulie, but I don't know. Can Andrew or one of us wear it? I don't know. Probably not.
It does bother me, though, that I find it weird. Like, if I liked a shirt, I would honestly not care what anyone thought of it. Like, Fritzy, you like that chunky oatmeal sweater, turtleneck sweater.
I did.
You wore it 3 years in a row. You must like it in some fashion.
I did. At some
Why
point,
would you give?
at some point after hearing all the comments,
expensive.
I kept. It was a little pricey. I would stare. I'd look at myself in the mirror after all the comments were made. I'm like, I think they have something to that, and maybe this is. Especially wearing it 3 years in a row.
See, I don't get rid of my clothes. Like, I get made fun of for wearing Kieran's Army Man shirt all the time, but I like that shirt, so I wear it.
Yeah, and
I'm
Dan,
not gonna, like,
I know for a fact,
throw it away.
Dan has thrown away 3 shirts that every time we've made fun of Dan, he's thrown or given away that shirt. So.
Have you ever been tempted to fake him out, like just to test him? If it's a nice shirt, say, hey, we don't like that shirt.
I would love for him to wear a nice shirt so we could do that. Oh, Fritzy.
That was nice. Okay, coming up next,
The holidays are a
we
week
get some
before Christmas.
holiday tips from Paul.
Here's a holiday tip about regifting bad Christmas presents. A lot of people like to rewrap it, make it look like, oh, this is a fresh gift and it's not regifted. That's not how we do it here at the Box Score. You walk up to the other person and say, hey, dude, this gift sucks. Now it's yours. Happy holidays from the Box Score.
We are closing up shop here on the Box Score. Paul Papps with an amazing tip for anyone that goes to a secret Santa party and gets a crappy gift, just hand it off to the next person. Is that going to be the case with a shirt? Are you going to re-gift that next week?
Oh.
That's not a bad idea, because I have some people I know who don't watch a show, and I could probably just launder that, wrap it, and put a fake gift receipt in there. I'm curious, though, if there's going to be any presents exchanged this year, Brock, between the Danettes and Dan. Fritzy sometimes likes to sneak
Fritzy
in.
goes rogue.
Fritzy likes to agree to no
Sends it to the
gifts
house.
and then bring in gifts. So are we in agreement which direction? We only have a few days left.
I've never bought a gift, and I certainly wasn't planning on it this year.
But I usually bring a bottle of wine to the Christmas party. I will admit that.
Yeah, I do that. That's different.
Okay, so that doesn't count.
No.
Fritzy, are you bringing
Which,
gifts?
by the way, just gets immediately.
No, I'm
clumped
going
in
to
all the
bring
other
probably
wine.
some type of muffins or cakes or cookies, something nice just for the party to Dan's house. But after a few years ago, these guys, and I guess rightfully so, I was trying to do something nice. I picked like their favorite players, and they
Was
just
that when
totally
you,
destroyed me.
was
Like that? I took a copy machine and I took a picture of like Ricky
Was that
Henderson
when you
and
took
Walter Payton.
a late 90s color printer, print out a picture of Walter Payton and put it in the
That's
frame?
not what I did. I actually went online and granted these weren't like
Hold on a
these were
second.
not $100 gifts with the
So
actual
you
signature
bought
player.
somebody else's photocopied picture.
I guess I did. I went on eBay and I was doing a search for their favorite players. I thought it'd be nice.
Do you want to pay you back
get
the
a little-
$8 you spent on that?
It was a little more than $8. It wasn't that much more than.
I hope not, Todd.
There was something in the 20 range.
By the way, Dan.
And by the way, you do not know how to use eBay. There's no way you did that.
And by the way,
No chance.
Every year, Dan
That's
has
what
an
I- that's
incredible spread at dessert. Don't be the dork who brought the muffins. If you bring muffins to this party,
bringing sand to the beach.
we brought,
Muffins.
no, we brought. I think we brought these little fancy. We like to get these little fancy cupcakes. It's like a whole big box, and it comes in this like little shishi fancy place that Sugar Bell, whatever it's called. There's some place in town where
You go and pick them up?
I go with my wife.
Oh,
She probably makes the initial call, but then on our way we have to pick it up. So I happen to be in the car with the kids.
Technically, you're with the cupcakes.
Yeah, I'm physically there, and then Jen reminds me not to start eating them, for the ride over. There should be a full box when we show up, and look weird to have like miscellaneous 4 or 5 of them missing.
You should give them like 3, and there were 6.
Just make sure you get the
This is what I
marble
do.
right
It's
there,
the
Fritzy.
holidays.
Fritzy, who is on tomorrow?
A week before Christmas, this is what I'm getting. Tomorrow, U.S. men's national team goalkeeper Tim Howard will join us. Also of Everton. Am I
Sure,
saying that?
Everton.
He's got a
You're
new book
Beaverton.
out called The Keeper, so he's going to be with us. And we'll also talk to Wes Matthews of the Blazers shooting guard, and we'll have some fun with the Rainbows shirt that we all created
It's all on tomorrow's
the show.
All
All
right.
part of the Thursday edition, and maybe more surprises.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for watching The Box Score. We will be back here tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Audience Channel 239, or if you're on the go, the podcast available on iTunes or at podcast1.com. And congrats to whoever gets DP's old shirt.
That would be very
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching The Box Score. Holy cow!